I ran the same 10K 8 months apart, and the results literally shocked me. Why running didn't improve even when I did everything right. I thought I had lost fitness. Data told a different story. I want to show you 2 runs, same treadmill, same distance, 8 months apart. One was in May of 25 and the other was this month in January 26. And when I put the 2 pieces of data side by side, it completely changed how I understand my running and where I am today, because this wasn't about fitness, and it definitely wasn't about age. It was about something almost no one talks about here on YouTube. If you're following my journey, you know my history with running hasn't been linear. I've run marathons, I've done an ultra marathon, I've built a big aerobic base, and I've broken myself doing it. There were years where I ran thousands of kilometers, thousands of miles, and years where I barely ran at all. And years I didn't feel fit, and I didn't get faster. And honestly, the last part messed with my head quite a bit. So here's what I did. I took a 10K treadmill run from May of last year, and I compared it to a 10K treadmill run from a couple of days ago. Now, inside, same conditions. I actually used the same machine. It was the same effort. It was the same heart rate zone. And when I graphed the pace, something jumped out at me immediately. Both runs faded exactly the same way. Strong start, then around a 4 or 5 kilometer, there was a slowdown that began. And that was only because this year I set the treadmill for 20 minutes and I had to extend it, obviously. I'd set it up wrong. I think my pace would have probably been around 6:30 if I didn't stop and fix the machine. And look, the final kilometers, I ran slower every time because this is how a MAF test works. It's a textbook heart rate training at its best. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. The first thing I noticed was my heart rate didn't drift. It didn't spike. It didn't really change that much. Both of my runs were right around the 138 to 140 beats per minute. Now let that sink in for a minute. 8 months apart, slower pace, same heart rate. That's Maffetone method training. That's when it hit me. I really realized this wasn't about an aerobic problem. If I had lost fitness, my heart rate would be higher at the same pace. If I was out of shape, my heart rate would climb as I got tired, but it didn't. My heart wasn't the limiter this time. But you know what was? My body. Now this is a big idea, and I call it durability. So here's the word that changed everything for me. It's called durability. Aerobic fitness is how big your running engine is. Durability is how long your body can use it. And what the last 6 years have shown me is that my running engine has come back again and again. But my durability, that was broken in 21 after my ultra marathon, and I never fully rebuilt it. So every time I ran longer, my heart was ready, but my legs, they weren't at all. Now the pattern across the years, when I zoomed out and looked at everything from 2019 to now, the pattern is clear. Build fitness fast, push volume, get injured, lose motivation, and start all over again. And this happened to me over and over. I wasn't failing. I was repeating the same mistake over and over again, hoping for something, I don't know, that was the same. Like, really? It doesn't work that way. So if you're out there in zone 2 or using the Maffetone method, doing everything right, and yet still wondering why you're not getting faster, maybe it's not your heart. Maybe it's not even your age. Or maybe it's not even the motivation. Maybe, just maybe, you haven't rebuilt your durability yet. And the good news is that is fixable. If you resonated with this, hit subscribe because this is the phase that I am in right now. I'm not chasing fitness, but building the body that can actually use it. Look, I've done a lot of training. I've put in a lot of volume when I first started out. And as the years have progressed, I've lost that motivation that I had. And I went from running 6 to 7 days a week over the years to 5 days a week, then 4, then 3. Now I'm down to 2 days. Okay, 2 days, that's not a lot. And yes, I go to the gym, which is fantastic. But again, it's not every single week. I try to, but sometimes schedule doesn't work out that way. However, what's really important for me to explain to you is over the years, I've built up a very strong aerobic base. Okay, thousands and thousands of miles and kilometers, all running in zone 2. Maffetone method, training. That's what I've done. Yes, there's been some times where I've added in some speed work, and that's good because you have to be able to kind of elevate your heart rate to push through plateaus. But you also want to make sure that you stay injury free. And that's what I like about, running in zone 2. So, by looking at all of the data that I talked about, and by analyzing it and trying to understand where I came from and why I'm now clinging on to my fitness, I still have it. My aerobic base is still there. The thing is I've gained weight. I've allowed it to happen, and that's okay. It happens to all of us. But the important thing is my aerobic base is still strong. It's still there. So even by only running 2 days a week, okay, that's not a lot, I've still been able to maintain from what I had a year ago, basically, okay, 8 months ago, which is wonderful. So if I can add in one more day again and slowly build, right, the consistency, I can build up the durability, the weight will continue to come off me, I'll get stronger as I continue, I'll be able to run further, ever so slowly, inching my way one step at a time. Baby steps. I know how to do this. This is not new to me. But the thing is you have to be critical of yourself. You have to look at the data and say, what happened? What was going on? Life is all over the place. We runners are all different. And because we're all different, we all have our own story. Sometimes we can kind of be that victim in your story. But what I would say is you can also be your superhero in your story. It doesn't have to be like this. You just have to carve out a little bit of time. Today, I had enough time to run a 5K. And that was great. So I picked it up and I ran a little bit faster and it felt good. But as you get older, you have to watch the ligaments, right? You have to watch certain things. You get stiffer as you get older. And you don't want to beat up your body like on every single run. So running slow is fantastic to build the base. But if you slowly have these moments where you can get out and you can run a little bit faster for a period of time, like a 5K or even a 3K or whatever it is, right? Maybe it's 2 miles. Maybe that's enough for you to go fast. But build up slowly. Don't go all in. Don't say, hey, I need to do 10K and I need to run it fast. That's my tempo. Start at 20 minutes. Then maybe work your way up to doing 40 minutes in a tempo. Look, I'm no running coach, but what I am is somebody that's gone through the process of training from nothing up to an ultra, and I know what that looks like. So for me, to build myself back to where I was, I got a plan. And the number of videos that are going to be coming out is going to be a series of me building back. So if you're interested in seeing what that journey looks like, hit subscribe, like the video, comment below, let me know kind of where you are in your training. And like I always say, get out and run. See you on the next one. Because sometimes
heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving is like a spiritual cleanse where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving